Ladies, have you ever felt like, regardless of what you try, how hard you try, the diets and the workouts that work for other people just aren't working for you? Now, if you're an Asian woman trying to take a Western approach towards your fat loss, that's probably why it's feeling so difficult and so impossible. Picture this, you've been cutting out the rice, the noodles, the family meals because you heard that apparently you're not supposed to be eating them if you're trying to lose weight. You're going through all these intense workouts and then you're stepping on the scale and you're frustrated because the scale still hasn't dropped. In fact, maybe you've even gained weight and you're perhaps almost thinking, what's wrong with me? Is it my body? Is it my hormones? Is it my age? Is there something wrong with me? Now, if you're feeling that way, trust me, I've been there myself before. I know it's really frustrating. I know it feels very hopeless, but in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why you're feeling this way and why you're struggling with your weight loss by taking these Western approaches. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chin Yang and I've helped thousands of Asian women around the world to lose weight and tone up in a way where they're not giving up their cultural foods and the amazing celebrations and family meals that are so common in our culture. Now, as someone who has specialized with Asian women and being Asian myself, I know how difficult and frustrating a fitness journey can be, especially when the families involve, when, food is so heavily ingrained in our culture. It's like a love language and we can't take that out. And personally, through my own journey, I grew up eating rice literally every single day. And when I started my fitness journey and I had all these Western coaches and diet programs that I found online, the one thing that made it so hard was they introduced me to foods that I don't typically eat, that I probably won't want to typically eat in the future. And it kind of just felt like I had to give up everything that I love, that I had been taught, that I had grown up used to in order to get in shape. And did I get in shape? Yes. Did I sustain it? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, I was not enjoying myself. And I kind of felt like I was going against my family and everything that was part of my own identity. So if you've been in a similar position where perhaps you're trying to force feed yourself these cold salads, the cottage cheese because apparently it has a lot of protein, and you're cutting out all those warm soups, rice, noodles, the traditional meals that you want to eat with your family, no wonder you're feeling frustrated and you're struggling. Now, over time through my own journey, having worked with so many Asians, I realized something. I realized that, in fact, we don't need to cut out the foods that we love, and there definitely is an approach that we can take that respects our cultural foods and allows us to also get in our best shape and to work with our bodies. So before we go into how we can actually apply these approaches to us and what the approaches are going to best work for you, let's go through 3 reasons as to why, as an Asian woman, you should not be taking a Western approach to your weight loss and to your fitness journey in general. Number 1 is obviously the dietary mismatches. Now, a lot of Western diets often demonize carbs, but when we look at the Asian diet, what does it mainly consist of? Carbs. Now look, rice, noodles, and sweet potatoes are a staple in our diet, so we absolutely cannot be cutting those out because again, that's not going to be sustainable, right? And it's going to be pretty painful. So instead of cutting these foods out, what I would recommend is just manage your portions better and make sure that you're pairing your carbohydrates with lean protein sources and fiber from vegetables. Now, when you look at traditional Asian meals, we already have a really great balance, right? You have your complex carbohydrates, your proteins, and your vegetables and your fats, but typically it's more so the portion sizes that are a bit wonky. We often have a whole plate full, right? A whole bowl full of rice with a little bit of protein and a little bit of veg. So if we could just balance out those better in terms of portions, you're already miles ahead of the game in terms of your weight loss and having a really balanced approach to your nutrition. Now, the second thing I want to speak about is actually metabolic differences. Now, studies have shown that most Asian populations have a higher body fat to muscle ratio. What that means is actually we typically carry a bit more body fat than muscle. Now, you've probably recognized this in the sense where we're all built fairly small, right? But when you actually look at our muscle tone, we don't tend to have a lot of muscle tone unless you have been consistently weight training over the years, right? Now, a term that you may be familiar with is skinny fat, right? Where you feel like you look kind of skinny in clothes, but then you're also a bit pudgy and fat when you're naked. And that's also because your body composition is higher in body fat than muscle mass. Now, what this means in terms of metabolism and in terms of your nutrition is that you really need to be prioritizing those proteins and you really need to be prioritizing weight training. Reason being is because the more muscle you can build on your body, the higher metabolism is going to be, which is going to enable you to be able to eat more in the future and to be able to keep the weight off. Now, when you start weight training, that's where you're going to be able to build on that muscle. And typically it is going to be a bit harder for us already to build on muscle because we're just genetically not made out that way. And that's also why you really need to be prioritizing that over, say, the endless amounts of cardio or HIIT workouts that you could be doing at the moment. And the final thing I want to speak about is obviously the cultural lifestyle factors. Now, what I mean by that is obviously food is such a beautiful way to bring people together, right? We often share our meals. We sit together with our family and it's not, I'm just going to eat my plate of food and you eat your plate of food, but rather we share our meals and it's a way to show love, right? It's a way for your relatives to show you their love. And the last thing you want to be doing is saying no to those shared meals or feeling guilty or anxious or just having no idea how you can have those meals and still reach your fitness goals. So instead of avoiding these situations, learn strategies around them, around mindful eating, portion control, slowing yourself down, and also just knowing how to actually create a plate that's really balanced with what's available to you that's shared. So the main takeaway from these 3 things is you don't need to remove your cultural foods. You don't have to change the way you're eating completely just to reach your fitness goals. Even if you do that, your results aren't gonna last, ladies. Now, if you're wondering, Chingyang, is that even possible? Like, that kind of sounds like way too good to be true. Here are some examples of our clients who have been implementing these exact strategies and have been absolutely crushing their fitness journey. Now, if we take Fisher, for example, she previously, before joining us, was cutting out carbs, trying keto, restricting, and just really struggling to see how the hell she could get a body that she felt confident, fit, and strong in without giving up bar and all the foods that she loved. Now, I still remember our initial consult call where she was telling me, Chingyang, I'm just so sick of eating cottage cheese. Like, I've just heard that that's great in protein. I have to have it if I want to get in shape and build muscle and build my glutes. And that was something that was really stressing her out because she absolutely hated it. And realistically, it's not going to last if she's eating the foods that she hates every single day, right? I don't think a dream body will ever be worth that, ever. Now, what she was also led to believe was that doing endless amounts of cardio and HIIT workouts is also what was going to give her that dream tone body. However, what actually worked was our weight training program and really getting her to focus on just getting stronger, actually repeating those compound movements that work for her, that she enjoys. Now, when she started working with my team and I, what we did was we made sure that we actually started teaching her how she could have the ramen, the beef, the pho, all the foods that she loved, that she grew up with in her day-to-day whilst being able to reach her goals. This was shocking to her at the start, and she did kind of struggle with believing that this could be true, but she leaned into the process, really trusted us, and as you can see with her before and after and her transformation so far, she's been absolutely crushing it. And again, the most beautiful part of this journey is that she's been eating the food she loves, she's been going out, traveling. This girl is such a foodie. Let me tell you this, she's amazing at cooking, and she's not had to remove all those things that really are part of her and her identity whilst actually achieving these goals in her own body. Now, another example is Leanne Hare, who again thought that she couldn't be eating these home-cooked meals with her husband, with her friends, enjoying, you know, Thanksgiving, Chinese New Year, traveling, whilst being able to lose weight and actually, again, reach her dream body. And we also have Holly here, who's a mom who was struggling with her postpartum weight, her belly fat after giving birth, and she too also felt that she had to remove herself from her meals with her family, with her children, just in order to reach her goals. And that again became quite painful, quite overwhelming, because let's be honest, who has the time to be cooking 2 meals and eating separately from the family, right? It's not really what you want to be doing as a mom either, in terms of setting a good example and being a good role model for your children. Now, by us teaching her how to balance her plate out better, how to portion control, how to actually have a better understanding around nutrition knowledge, Holly's been able to eat with her family, just cook a meal together, be able to eat with her children, and still be able to lose that stomach fat and keep it off. And again, what's most important is she enjoyed her journey as well. And as you can see, she's made incredible results as well in the process. And now what's most important as well is we've been able to help her keep this weight off by improving her metabolism, as I mentioned before, during this process, by getting her to weight train and also helping her through a reverse diet where she is now able to eat more food whilst being able to obviously stay in a leaner and healthier shape. Now, the reason why these approaches work is because it's actually tailored to your body, your genetics, and your lifestyle and what you would actually enjoy. It's not a random generic Western approach that you found on the internet or that a Western coach that's given you that doesn't really ultimately understand your dietary needs. Now, ladies, if you found this video useful and you're ready to stop fighting against your own body, your own cultural beliefs, and you're ready to also get in your best shape this year and sustain it, I've got the perfect resource for you, the Asian Woman's Guide to Sustainable Fat Loss. And this free guide literally breaks down everything I've spoke about in this video to teach you actually how to implement that into your own life. Now, all you have to do is click the link below, go on my Instagram and just message me Asian Diet, and I'll send you over the free guide. Now, if you found this video useful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe so that you never miss another upload, and it also obviously really supports my channel. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me here today, and I hope you have the most incredible week, and I'll see you in the next upload.